Wake up in the morning and you're feeling like you're on fire. Alrighty. Ba-da-bum. Opening up the tubes. Oh, hello, my sweet. So won't you come with me? There's oh so much to show in this grim dark distillery. If you like bullshit or want some hobby tips, this nightmare priest nigh on binary herald magnificent welcomes you. Hello, my sweets. It has been a hot minute, but we are back. I'm going to mute this right quick. Hey, it's already done. So, very, very long time since we have talked. I'm going to share that we are live real quick. And I need to get that link. Every time, you know. Eventually I'll have my bullshit together, but who am I kidding? Here we go. Share. Copy. Post. Okay. And then I'm just going to slap a little... no, not a mention. I'm so sorry, my sweets. But I'm almost done. Just got to hit paste and done. All right. Here we go. Hello. It's been a very long time. Well, not too long, 4 days, but for 4 days, that seems like a long time. I did a lot of stuff, not all the stuff that I planned on doing. I didn't touch Procreate. I think we all kind of knew I probably wasn't going to, but that's what we have this week for. And I made a lot of fucking mental improvements. But a couple of things. I see we're sculpting today. We are getting into it. We're doing the goddamn thing. I had a lot of epiphanies and realizations the past couple of days of just what I need to do and moving forward, how to go about doing that to make sure that I'm able to make what I want to make in time before it's just like, hey, I got to find something else to do. One of the first things is I got to send an email to my friend Johan because I am going to start hardcore working on Wretched and getting it out. And after someone asked me on Reddit, which I was very excited about, I'm always excited when people want to see what I've been working on. I mentioned on Reddit that I've been working on it since, my conversations with Johan when Merkborg first came out. But all those ideas and all those concepts have just been gathering in notebooks, gathering in my brain, and I need to pretty much piece them all together, as well as, add in a little more detail in certain spots, which that's man, I have so many topics that we could talk about. But that's a big part of a proper Merkborg book. At least in my mind, you need to be as brief and very, very precise with your words, because you need to not bog down the reader, but you need to build. My quote from Merkborg that was on their website was, there's some of the best world building in 2 to 3 sentences segments that I've ever seen, and I stand by that. That is one of, I hate when you have the idea but actually have to make the idea. Ugh, yeah, I know, it sucks. I did start doing a lot of the thing though, which is why I did not get to Procreate. I was bound to my bed, and by bound I mean like I just couldn't get up. Which for anybody that's like, hey, curious if you ever want to go through with that, it's a good choice. I'm very happy with my decisions. First day that it happens, it sucks. Second day it happens, it sucks. The third day it's a little bit better, and by day 4 you're like, I almost feel like 90% better, and like I'm like 95 today. So uh, I'm a fan. What did I get done? So the first thing I did to keep my hands busy on the first day was I built this AT-AT model that I've had for a hot minute. The AT-AT has a very, very special place in my heart. It is, I'm trying to think of timeline here, but this is like when I mean, we're talking like 30 fucking years ago at this point. If it's not like one of the first big robots that I ever saw, then like, and okay, before I even get there, it's not a robot. This is a, I mean, technically it's an all-terrain attack tank. Oh, George Lucas. But I loved the AT-ATs. And the number one reason I loved them was I was absolutely obsessed with dinosaurs as a kid. Okay, but was it Spency? So with my insurance, which is, I'm assuming the not good insurance, because it's like not what I used to have. It's what you get when you're in between jobs and they're like, we don't care about you as a human, but legally we have to give you insurance. It was like 465 after, but without insurance, it was still within reason of Medicare. Yeah, Cobra, Medicare, whatever. No, brah. So, yeah. Also, only got one. No, I don't want to give too much information here. I won't go into that. But yeah, I will. They only had to make one cut. So I've got like a little nice little scar that matches pretty much that, which is awesome. No butterflying involved. The other thing I built was this Riesego. So I was pretty excited to, one, have time to go through a little bit of my backlog. Right before I went, my buddy Tyler, Whiskey Machine, shout out. My buddy Tyler was talking about them, or showing me his MG Dynams that he built, and talking about his backlog, and I was like, oh my god, my backlog is so big. But I can't really work on this kind of stuff when I'm in bed. So I tried, I thought about it. I pretty much was just like, do you think I could sculpt in bed? And Kelly was just like, you can? Do you think you can? I was like, no, I know who I am. I can't sculpt in bed. Bless her soul. I'm going to move these real quick. Oof. I got up a little quick. Oh no. So I've talked about that. Man, there are so many things over here. Also, I've decided this is going to be the next guy that I finish of my demons. After really reflecting on a lot of things, I need to finish these. I want to finish these. And the best way to do that is to include them into my actual plan. It's probably good you didn't. You'd be finding green stuff in bed for weeks, I'm sure. All the sculpting I did this weekend, I actually only did epoxy sculpt. And I can show better pictures of that here in a little bit. But yeah, no, and both, either of them would not have been good. Kelly would have been very, very, very upset. Either choice. When you get, don't put your 2-part epoxies in the bed. You leave that 2-part epoxy out of the bedroom, you wild kids. Especially if you you know, are really in the vein of don't fuck with that stuff without gloves on. You don't want chemical burns. Come on, kids. I've never had a chemical burn from green stuff. I've never had a problem touching green stuff, just to clarify that. I don't think that is the kind of 2-part epoxy that will fuck your hands up. I think it's every other kind that I have. But because I don't know, I can't stress enough. I don't know what the actual purpose is for Kneadatite, but it's not what I would use in plumbing, like ever. I don't know. That's I want to say Nick's cousin, brother, someone that worked in plumbing or worked in that field when he told them that he uses 2-part epoxy to sculpt, they were like, "Are you wearing gloves?" And he was like, "Nah." And they were like, "Yeah, you should fucking wear gloves, because that could kill you." I think he's talking more about JB Weld kind of stuff, which comes, I mean, it looks just like that. They have an extremely different texture though. JB Weld is way more like epoxy sculpt. And also it smells like death. Like as soon as you open it, you're like, yep, yeah, the stuff gets hot. That stuff yeah, you can literally feel the chemical reaction happening while you're like kneading it together. So, and that's with gloves on. And like, you gotta throw those gloves away when you're done. That shit's ruins them. But whew, I gotta get up. No, you all have seen Spite. Also get Spite. Also, I'll show you the little thing that I found this morning, and I had an involuntary muscle spasm when I looked at it because I remembered where it goes. That way, you know, we all just get to feel the same. I'm trying to make sure that I cross that border. It's kind of like a 4D. This is kind of like a 4D stream, except I just say things that make your body go, ugh. And then I gleeked. I'm sorry. I'm gross. Miscellaneous dope unique bits. That's a... So this is in, man, eventually I'm going to have to do an actual proper tour here, but I think that will be something that I probably have Sam help me with. That way I can have someone hold the camera, and also that would be a great way to test out the microphone and the other shit that I have for filming with these cameras. I still have not even set up the second one yet, but that is mainly for once we start actually filming gaming. I want to have multiple, you know, I've got 2 of these Nikon cameras. I really want to be able to show you guys the vibe that we're trying to put off when we are making these narrative, you know, events. MTV Cribs, but it's your bits box. Oh my God. Yeah, my bits box is half my fucking basement. So this is like my favorite bits though. I keep them in here. You got cat mats, which is a little boy kisser sticker. I bet you like smoking weed, don't you? This is where I keep all my whiskers, all my claws. I have not used any of these yet, but the eyes had it on Instagram. They say they want Trench Crusade. So I'm going to give you Trench Crusade. Hey, buddy. Good morning. At work, so probably won't be able to participate a lot, but we'll be able to watch between calls. Hope you have a great stream, and I'd be happy to help with anything. Yay. Thanks, friend. Hi. That's my buddy, Sam. So, anywho, cat mats. Yeah, and then we got etched brass. I'm a big fan of etched brass. If you are hyper detailing, and I got these, so they're made for Gundam. That's not why I got them. I got them for Warhammer, for specifically my Emperor's Children. The amount of little grab handles that are just so good that are available in etched brass. If you are hyper detailing, nothing touches etched brass, in my opinion, other than other metal or other things that you have made to be exactly that thing. Anywho, yeah, whole lot of weird little stuff up here. This is where I keep the weird things that's just like, man, if I want to make something fucking dope, you know, you got beard hair, specifically my beard hair. Also, my man internet is being awful. Oh no, that's awful. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Glue skins, magnets, jewels, micro mesh, vape foil, spikes. Spikes? What the fuck's that? Oh, that's just literally a bunch of spikes that I cut off of like thousands of Warhammer models. Okay, mono eyes. Anywho, this is super dope bits. No, sorry, miscellaneous dope unique bits. Weird little bits that I'm like, that's gonna be weird. That's gonna go in somewhere. This guy. So this, I found this bit. I don't remember where it came from. And by bit, I mean it is a piece of metal that is very, very well formed. Do you keep the bread tab things? I've seen those used as heat sink fins on Gundams. Bread tabs. I don't think so. Like the little square ones. I've never messed with that. That's a good call though. Yeah, the biggest things that I keep, cat mats. I'm a ghoul, a goblin ghoul, if you will. The hair, adding hair to your models, that's like, ooh baby. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, the square ones. Yeah, I've not messed with those, but I bet they would be very good because they are very thin plastic, and you would be able to cut them pretty well to shape into little fins. Cones. I just got a huge thing of cones, which this is pretty much super glue. Like anytime you like these super glues that I use, you have to put the cap on, and then once you tighten it, that's when it opens. So every time I use one of those, I keep the cap. A lot of lavalier locks, syringes, that kind of stuff. Anything conical. And then we've got everybody's two favorites. Taxidermy fun drawer, eyes and teeth. I have a lot of fake eyes, and I have a lot of teeth. I have a lot of molds of teeth, specifically a lot of molds of my wife's teeth. And then lots of, before I had 3D printers, I had a pretty good collection of taxidermy teeth and whatnot to add to things. We won't really be using those on anything like this scale. We'll be using this though. That's a dragonfly. Yeah, your models need more of your hair included. Don't get to see that a lot. Or you haven't been telling me when I'm touching your hair when I'm checking out the models. I mean, that is true. Typically, when I'm getting the head rubs, I don't talk about, like, you know, where else I put that hair. But yeah, so this is the drawer that we're going to be in a lot with the Trench Crusade fun. We got a big old dragonfly, some dead centipedes, lots of dead bugs. I have a lot of dead bugs in here. This is an owl pellet. It was. Well, it was probably a mouse technically, and then it became an owl pellet, and now it is hobby materials. And then eyelashes. Your boy loves eyelashes. If you are not, well, I mean, I guess I don't know. I've never seen anyone who didn't have eyelashes. So I guess I don't know. I don't think I'm into that. No, I'm not. That's a quick one. No, eyelashes are really good for, was driving. I believe the other issue was hobbyist 2 part epoxies is developing contact allergies. Oh, yes. I didn't even think about that. Now that is, okay, so if that was the concern, that I agree with 100%. Yes, fucking with this stuff without gloves on, you absolutely could really fuck yourself up if you are allergic to it. And even more so, I mean, that is shit that you can develop over time. And then you don't want to fuck that up. But yeah, so why am I showing you guys a bunch of dead stuff? Well, first, I'm going to go get the dead flies off of my laptop that I've been saving. I've been doing that for about a week. It's summer here in sweet, sweet old KY, baby. And it's like fucking hell. It's really hot as piss. You don't go outside. And when you do, you're just wet. And I don't mean that in any way other than you walk out the door and you're like, my whole body is now damp and I am in hell. That's where I live. Which is why I'm a basement dweller. Always have been. That's not the only reason. There's a lot of reasons. Oh no, my things. But yeah, so this dragonfly. I think my sister-in-law saved this while we were in Florida and gave it to me. And we are going to be taking these wings. They're probably going to be used on a Herald of Beelzebub, but if not, they will be on my Praetor of Gluttony. I'm still trying to debate. You know, your boy's got to do something demonic first. It's just like, I hit up Trench Crusade. I asked them if they're ready for it. I don't think they're ready for this jelly baby. A lot of cuties have been making all kinds of things, but I haven't made anything fucked up yet for Trench Crusade. I haven't made anything yet. And it's going to be pitch black. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I got all, oh, hey, actually, before I put this up, I will show these because I love these. They are my children. These are my non-fluffy children. How would you keep the wings from breaking? It will be very finicky, but I am probably going to coat them. We'll have to put something on there to keep them from, they definitely will not be, like, I can't stress that enough, hyper durable. It's more a showpiece kind of thing, which is not something I typically fuck with. But I've also kind of hit the point that's just like, if they do kind of get broken while I'm playing with them, I'm not too upset about that, and I could probably put it back. But probably my typical PVA glue, I'll probably coat them in PVA glue to give them a little bit more rigidity. I was staring at that model specifically this morning on your Instagram, the quadruped. Are you working on that this morning? No, spite. I'm not. I got spite out so I could show where this piece goes. I forgot where it goes, but it actually goes in the hole right in the middle, which, just to be blunt, I'll be that guy. And I'll full disclosure, why are we not doing this one next? We're not doing spite next. Good God, that looks awful. I just saw like the nasty red on the body from where I painted this, and it looks like blood. It looks like fresh blood down the back. That's real nasty. This one, I loved Spite. Spite is such a good design. I also love that it's the closest to scratch built. The only thing that is not scratch are the feet. These are Hellbrute feet, which, if anybody is curious about, hey, what the fuck did you use to build these things? I could go through that. But yeah, the only model parts on this are the feet. I had a whole bunch of those Dark Vengeance Hellbrutes, and I cut them up. The rest, I made the body. I sculpted it from aluminum foil and then green stuff back before I even started messing with epoxy sculpt. I was going to make a Keeper of Secrets that had a large slab strapped to its back, and it was constantly crawling. And it was going to have a couple of demonettes, well, counts as demonettes, on its back with like halberds and stuff. So essentially it was going to be like a chariot. But I wanted to really lean into I guess my concepts of Slanesh demonhood, and it's just like the idea of a great, a greater demon debasing itself and, hooking a big slab to its back and crawling around and letting its lessers ride on top of its back. That's kink. That's a kink. It's of some kind. So I was just like, yep, there we go. But yeah, so the ribs, those are actually floss sticks. Let's see. This is the top of a filter from a Brita filter. Again, I don't know where the urethral like plug came from. I think it might be a thumbtack. I don't know, but that's what that is, and that pretty much goes in there to just close it up, which is why the whole thing looks as though it's about to burst out of itself. Initially, when I was working on it, and if I had time, and now I'm still very much on the fence. If I want to go through with the initial design, I was going to take clear plastic, almost like a plastic bag, and really that was kind of I still need to figure out the details on how to achieve it. I would have to do a couple of urethral plug and thumbtack should never be in the same sentence. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm sorry, Possum. I try to make it very clear. You all know what you're getting when you come in. as the watching just drops, 6 people just leave after that. So yeah, the whole thing, the reason that we're not doing Spite first, and this is it's just like, I don't want to be that guy. So a couple years ago, I made the comment, someone, I don't remember, made a horrible, scary vagina monster. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. That looks great. It was one of the first that I remember seeing in the 28 community. And then they made another one. And then they made another one. And then it was just like, okay, well, at this point, I feel like you're just the creepy vagina guy. And then I realized it's like, man, okay, if the first of my demons I finish is the dick cage one, and the second one is also a dick cage one, I'm the Dick Cage guy, and I don't want to be that either. Like, so we gotta have a little stop in there, and that's where this one comes in. And shit, this is the concubine. Yeah. Concubine's fucked up. So this is the one, for those of you who do not know, this is a cast made from my wife's mouth when we were married. They, some dentists like, oh, it's like a package, like a little special thing, like, hey, you're getting married, we'll do a free like teeth whitening kind of thing for you, like just as a congrats. And they did that. So when they made the cast for the molds for her little like whitening things, they get the cast out and they break them out and they're getting ready to throw them away, and she was like, can I have that? And they were like, really? And she was like, oh yeah, my husband would love that. She knows who she married. But yeah, so pretty much the grit, we gotta do a lot, because, and to further explain that, I don't know if I've explained this further. The reason that they look the way they do, they were not finished for the event. They were not supposed to be finished for the event because they were not supposed to properly manifest. The entire concept of Visterion was that a cardinal world, a world that is entirely devoted to worship, what does that give birth to? Because the warp is us. It's a mirror. So what do you get when you have an entire world that is just ignorant hatred of each other for the same damn thing? It was a lot of social commentary on my part, as most of my models are, or art, if you want to call them that. Anywho, the idea was I really wanted them to look as though they were not properly manifested, and all of, I think, the best descriptions in novels about demons in the 40K universe, they often reference how you cannot look at them. You cannot get a proper look at them. I wanted every bit of their skin to look as though it wasn't fully in. So I wanted to have a distorted kind of look to them. And also they look way rougher now because I have fucked with them a lot since Visterion. That's why they're missing good chunks of paint. Some of them are missing claws. But the concubine is going to be the next one that we finish. And I'm really excited about that because it is a really creepy model. And there's a lot more that I want to do with it to really make it just, that's awful. But yeah, these are cicadas. I love cicadas. That's why I said they are my children. These are 3 of the extra ones that for my birthday this year, Kelly got me a little case, as well as a good variety of different cicada species that were preserved for me to make a little display. I love museum core, absolutely love, bug pinning, that kind of stuff. I don't like bug pinning. I glued mine. I don't, and I never would kill any of them. I can't stress that enough. I'm not a big fan of killing bugs. I don't do it. Well, it depends. Certain bugs. If you're a cave centipede, I'm sorry, I will send you back to hell, but that's not really me killing them. It's just like sending them back where they came from. Cave centipedes are so goddamn awful. That's one of the few things on this planet that I'm like, yeah, I don't like that because of how scary it is. Man, this little, I'll figure that out later. I'm not going to waste time doing that right now. So I've talked about the models I made. I talked about the demons that we're going to be working on next. Spite is 3rd. So here's the thing. The reason we're not doing 2 Dick Cages in a row, I'm not being just the Dick Cage guy. I'm more than that. We're going to do the concubine next. And along the way, this is I can't stress. I don't have an exact date of when I'm going to start working on that. It's just more of a frustration was done. I need to finish these models. So they're kind of going to be something that I do while working on projects, but I want to keep working on them because they do mean a lot to me. And I'm not going to not let them be finished. So I will put those back over where they went. I don't know where the little plug went. Ooh. I probably put it back in the unique dope bits. Alrighty, so got that out of the way. Also, played more 1490 Doom. It was awesome. Vemet got thrown off again. So, well, not again. He didn't get thrown off last time, but the same height that I scared Sam's scavenger off of. Kelly's brute picked me up and threw me off, and if it had been half an inch higher, I just would have fucking died. But instead, I just broke my legs at the bottom. It was just like, poor Vemet. The next thing, and this is, I don't think you guys can hear Greeblin. Greeblin has joined us again in the land of the living, and has been working nonstop since I have been unable to do things. We only got an hour and a half left on this print. The first one that I did out of these prints is this guy. And I'm so stoked about this. This is from a guy on my mini factory called, his name is, shit. I want to say Bartosz? Bartosz? He's from Poland, but his handle is Hexbrick. Hexbrick! Shout out to my boy. These are some of the sickest fucking STLs I've ever seen. And it's because he is an architectural student. I'm assuming he was, or just an architect at this point. But pretty much this whole thing was, during my architecture study, I developed a love for things. And then he also plays tabletop games. So it was just obviously you want to combine the two. And the reason this gets me so pumped is it's made from someone that values the real architecture. So you guys know I am obsessed with proportions and getting things to look right and real, and hot damn, this just looks very real with very little effort on my part. So just other than smoothing out the very top layer, the amount of work for me left after these is so little, and I am so pumped about it. And here is the other part that I have printed. These are the first two corners. These are the corner high pieces, and I'm gonna do an awful thing and make you look into the infinite by showing a picture on my phone. Just because I think that's quicker than trying to figure out how to do it from here. But to show you what this board is going to look like, it's so fucking rad. I've got a couple of different files for very large buildings, very large structures, but I've not seen anybody do anything remotely like what this guy's doing. And that's why I was like, okay, here's my money. And I've not started printing on it just because I've not had enough of a direction yet, but now I know why and what I'm going to use these for. So this is the board that this guy is making. It is and that the board that it's on to show you for scale is not a 4x6. It's bigger. So a 4x4 board would easily be just the central part of that cathedral. To give you an idea of the size of this son of a bitch, this guy right here that I'm holding that is fucking huge is that little piece over there. So the actual main nave of the cathedral is going to be this fucking tall. And I am so insanely pumped about it. He's got a whole bunch of scaffolding that he's designed to go along with it. So one of the biggest things that I wanted to use it for, obviously, Trench Crusade, because I want to have a very big cathedral where, a gateway to hell opened up, and he's making a ruined cathedral. The other cathedral that I have is from, and eventually Greeblin is going to get a partner. We're going to have to figure out a name. But I'm trying to hold off on that for a little bit longer. I got to turn Johnny's light on. Sorry about this. No, I don't. It's on its timer. It just hasn't gone on yet. Johnny is getting lots and lots of new growth. I guess, I don't know if people are interested in that. If you guys like plants, I can share pictures of my plant. I'm not going to share pictures of my plants. I'll share pictures of my tree, that tree. I won't share any pictures of any other. I have too many fucking plants in my house. But a Johnny is special, just for the sense of, I mean, it is also an art piece. The idea of growing a bonsai tree in a basement that will outlive me is something that I find very, I mean, it's memento mori. That's the entire reason that I have that. It's the entire reason I do most things that I do. Remember that you will die, my friends. You're only here for a short time. Please do what makes you happy. Please be good to each other. And that. So, what was I talking about with the cathedrals? I am going to be the change that I want to see in the world, whether it wants it or not. And part of that includes events. The very first events that I will be doing are going to be 1490 locally. I am probably going to make about 4 boards, and I will run 1490 games in my local area because that's the change I want to see. This game is so fucking sick. After now playing it once by myself, once with my buddy Sam, and once with Kelly, I'm so pumped about this game. And the fact that it takes 3 models, you only need 3 models, and they don't even care if you use their models. Like, I guess that's, I'm really ready to fully just be like, all right, I'm ready to do my part to try to fix the world in any way that I can. And I do think that a good chunk of how I could do that is just through this stuff. So. Where the fuck did I come from? That's not what I thought it was. I don't know why. Some of this stuff is on my desk, and I'm kind of confused at this point. There's the plug. That goes back in the miscellaneous Stope Unique bins. Okay, and then I'll close this door. And then I also made coffee. That's another time. So, another thing. I am so sorry, everyone. I'm a little scatterbrained. I've been gone for 4 days, and I had surgery. Hey. I also thought, hey, it'd be kind of good if I could have coffee while I do this. Hoo boy, I have just yapped for 37 minutes. Which, if you're wondering, that's also what I did on Thursday. I just yapped my entire time getting surgery. But I did possibly, well, one, for goddamn sure, I converted 2 more people to the divinity that is Polyphia, hallowed be Tim's name. It was quick to learn and fun immediately. Yeah, and that's what Kelly said. Like, I cannot stress enough. I am very passionate. I'm a very passionate person. I am very vocal about things that I love because I love them and I want other people to love them because I do think, hey, if I like this thing, I think you'd like it too. And I think, people need to use their imaginations more and play more. Like, just fact. I just think they do. The it's fucked. I'm not going to be here for the rest of it, but hey, someone should teach people how to use their imaginations. So, where did my rant with that? Where's that going? I can't stress enough. I think one of the best things about it is the low model count, and 2, they've made a game where it reminds me so much, and I didn't think about it until I was playing with Kelly, but the vibe that it gives me, there's a fuzzy, it flew off my hands. Anyway, it reminds me of Destiny, my old girlfriend Destiny, as Kelly would say. When Destiny 1 came out, I was addicted. I was in one of the first 100 clans to beat Crota. Flex. But, and shout out to my boy Josh, and Frosty Flips, who's fucking rad as hell. So, anywho, I haven't fucked with him in a long time. Well, not Josh, I love Josh. He sometimes pops in here, that's LSX. Anywho, fuck, where was I going with that? I was talking about Destiny. In Destiny, every character, like in the first, I didn't fuck with 2. Bungie, that's a thing. I know this is going to shock nobody. who's listening to this. Um, but if I feel like you have betrayed me, I burn the bridges and I campaign. I don't know why. I guess it's because I love too hard. I don't like anything. I love things or I don't. And I have an addictive personality, so it's just like if I fully put my heart and soul into something, once somebody does something, it was, man, I can't stress. I remember distinctly sitting there with like my crew when we were reading like the updates, and it was just like, so you mean to tell me I helped you beta test your fucking game for 2 years and I put up with all that bullshit and now everything that I have is going to be gone? Like I'm like all of my work is just for nothing. Like it was just like, all right, I'm out. And that was that for me. Now maybe if I had put in 27 years, I would have stayed around a little longer, or I would have found, other people to make other games that are better. But that's the whole thing is Destiny. You had these like abilities. Everyone had an ability that was kind of broken, like kind of OP, and it really like it's a gunfight game. It's a first-person shooter game, but each class has abilities that distinctly make it play different and make it feel different and seem kind of fucking broken when they wreck you with it. However, everybody has those, and it is such a well thought out game. I guess that's it. And again, I'm not saying this, Sam. I think anybody who is in the chat that knows me and has known me for a very long time. I don't just give my friends praise because they're my friends. You have to fucking earn it. Like, I don't praise anybody for no reason. Like, I don't, let me rephrase that. I don't build up things. I don't like to sugarcoat things. I'm very blunt. Yep. Sam, yep. I'm a very blunt person, and I don't mean to be in like a negative way. I say what I think when I think it. Wouldn't want it any other way. And I guess I was about to make an excuse, but I'm not. I'm not going to make an excuse. The reason I do that is because 90% of my life, for forever was just trying to guess what other people were thinking before they thought it. So I knew how I was supposed to respond or how I was supposed to do this. So I seemed like a fucking human being. And like the anxiety and the pressure of all that, it just, man, that gets overwhelming. But that is why I try to be as utterly clear in what I say and blunt as possible, because I don't want any kind of misinterpretation. Same thing. My job, previous jobs. I like to do things that are very masochistically complicated. Like man, that's hard. Why do you like that? And it's like, I don't know, because it makes me think. And like that's the only time I feel like I'm alive. Like is when I'm using my brain. I feel like whenever I'm like on autopilot, it's just like, okay, I'm wasting away. All that ranting and raving is just, they did a great job. 1490 Doom. It plays. I don't have any complaints. The only complaints that I have are not complaints. They're just like clarifications. Like, hey, Cody, how does this work? And he's like, oh, we're putting out an update. Relatable masking. You recognizing and going against that has been given. You're recognizing and going against that has been giving me confidence to maybe do the same. We do it to feel safe, I think. Yeah, no, and that's it. Like, recognizing the, impacts that things have had on you and doing what you need to do for yourself. One, to make sure you're okay. That I can't stress that enough. That's, if I'm on my pulpit, I'm care about yourselves. And I mean that in like the deepest sense of really, like not just like, oh yeah, no, I care about myself, because people have told me that all my fucking life, a lot in the past year. And I don't think it really sunk in until, it's been recent, not recent, but months. And it's good. It's good to feel good about who you are. So I just hope everyone gets to feel like that. I want to make sure everyone does feel like that. And I really want to put anyone who wants them to feel otherwise in their place. Anglerfish. So This is a champagne cork. So yeah, I keep every cork. I keep every cork because I use them to sculpt on. That's why there's a bunch of corks. And then I keep this little cage because, well, you could always use a little milk cage. So, what are we doing today? I talked for so long. I can show the models that I've made for 1490 Doom a little better. Oh boy, and then probably try to start working on them. So, let's start. This is the first one. This is Sam's Assassin. The body is from Vistarium, and the head is from Victus Miniatures. Let me see if I can get this guy. Is that? I'm gonna adjust that real quick so I can make sure. Yeah. Zoom in a little bit better there. Yeah. So, the only kind of work that I've done with these guys, that is a confident stance. Oh yeah. This is the stance of a guy that's like, yeah, I'm gonna crossbow you. And it's not gonna feel good. Man, I gotta say, Breached is one of my favorite parts of 1490 Doom. The moment that you roll a 6 in combat to hit somebody, they don't get a save and now they're breached. And at the beginning of every time they activate, they have to do a skill check or take a damage, like a point of damage, because their breathing apparatus has been breached. It makes the game so much more lethal and so much more brutal. And I absolutely love it. The head, so yeah, this head is like the little frog head from Victus Miniatures. They did a little collab with 1490 Doom, and I wanted to make sure that in like all the little, like the first models that I made, I wanted to show those off. And then the crossbow is actually from the Dark Souls board game. I have decided that if I'm not going to play the Dark Souls board game, because I think we all know why, I should at least use all of those models to do things with. So that was the Assassin. Here is Sam's Scout currently. And right now he is only just, at epoxy sculpt level, so we've still got way more detail. This is just kind of the overall frame. Oh hell yeah. So I'm pretty pleased with how he is going. Again, this is another bow that I made with the metal sheet metal. I mean, a sheet metal. Little tin snips. Not little tin snips. These are photo etch scissors. Oh boy, probably don't want to play with that too quick. But yeah, they cut metal really well, and then I just bent it and shaped it like a bow. It took a little bit, but not that hard. I can show that further. I'll show this further. Yeah, pretty much as far as bits. Oh boy. So the body is the Plague Doctor from Westphalia without its head and its arms, and then cut in half. And then I put a good chunk of space, maybe 5. I'm gonna say 5 millimeters. Is that 5 millimeters? Can I eyeball 5 millimeters? Let's see, my sweets. Probably not. I'm just curious now at this point. Personal curiosity. Nope, I was off. That is 3.72. Yeah, about 4. I was off by a millimeter. I'm pretty good. I'm the reason British kittens dream imperial, not metric. All right. I sat on that tool. Okay, so that's those two. The next one is Kelly Scavenger. So this, did I finish what those were made of? No, I didn't finish what that was up. Okay, so yeah, Plague Doctor chest with 4mm spacer in between. This is another head from the Vevictus miniatures heads that they made for 1490 Doom on my mini factory. The legs are from the Plague Doctor, but they're cut and, you know, re-angled. And then the arms, I think, came from Untamed Beasts. That sounds right. That sound right? Untamed Beasts. It was a Warcry warband. One of the first ones, the one that had like the lion thing. They came in the box set with Warcry. That's where the hands came from. I like Warcry bits quite a bit. So this guy, initially I was kind of thinking that he was too small and I needed to reprint them. But then I thought about it more, and I thought that they would fit in really well almost as a scavenger. It's actually the, I want to say Forlorn Knight or Lost Knight. And I say Forlorn or Lost Knight. I don't know which one it is, but I mean, it's the one that looks dead up like the Fallen Knight from Dark Souls 3. It's very, 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 very much inspired by that armor set, which is, I mean, I'm not going to say shit because it's fucking rad, especially the helmet. Let me see if I have the helmet over here anywhere. It's very obviously like, shit, I'm trying to remember the first knight. The first knight you meet in Dark Souls. Here's the head. Okay, so essentially it looks just like a, you know, your basic knight helm, but with a hood over it. So, and that would be there instead, like this. And he was holding two maces. But yeah, looked like a, very much looked like the Fallen Knight from Dark Souls 3. So, I cut off its arms and I cut off its head. I didn't cut off its foot, that just broke. It broke when I was pinning it, so I had to sculpt a new foot. And all this is just epoxy sculpt, so it's not the tightest details. I'm going to go back in over top with green stuff, or with essentially other materials to cover up. Epoxy sculpt is just the cheapest, and it's very, very easy to work with. So I like to use it for, like, unless I know I'm going to be doing the part that you're going to see. And then I made this little tie bag. Essentially, this is from a Kroot, the Kroot Hunters, like warband. Contentious opinion. DS3 is just fine. She wakes with us this day. And then Atri rises from her slumber. I like DS3. Dark Souls 3 is fine. It's good. It's not my favorite. I mean, the first one's my favorite of Dark Souls. Now, obviously, FromSoft, it's Bloodborne all the way, baby. The head is from Otto Longarm. That is the head that goes with this body. But yeah, so I took the head from this guy, put it on here, and I'm going to add a little bit more beef, beef it up behind there. So it kind of looks like, you know, there's a cloak. I am much like an eldritch beast. Yeah. Much like an eldritch beast, just sleeping and then just, I don't want to go to work. I get it. But yeah, initially I was going to have him holding it kind of like a Santa Claus. And then I thought, I don't know if I like that. So instead I'm going to put little strings. Man, I got to keep my hands. Keep your hands in the screen, Eli. What are you doing? Dicking around like this. Come on. You're a professional. String. I'm going to put string. I'm doing it again. Damn it. Okay. Maybe I'm not a professional. I'm going to put string right here. Really small string. Might even be hair. It's probably going to be hair. I'm saying it. I don't know. Maybe it won't be hair. It'll probably be hair. Probably my hair. Anyway, little string here running into that hand where there's a little hole already drilled that I made. And then a little bit of a loop hanging out this side. And it's going to look like he's holding the bag over his shoulder. It's the details. The devil's in the details, and we love the devil. So, not trying to spread actual devil worship. I do very much. That was more of a reference to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is definitely my favorite Tarantino movie. I just really like the very end when Brad Pitt's character is summarizing what the guy says. And he's like, yeah, nah, he said, I'm the devil and I'm here to do devil shit. And he said, that's what he said. He said, something like that. I am the devil and I am here to do devil shit. I just always find that very funny. This is a special model. This is technically Teus. So Teus, if you all are familiar with an event called Outguard, Alexander and I want to say Wilhelm, and I know one of Wilhelm's friends that I started following her shortly after. She did a lot of stuff with like elephant-looking stuff, and someone else. It might have been Big Boss Red Skulls, but I could be mistaken. When they were doing Outguard, I was working on models to send. I don't know if I've ever shown them. Maybe I have. Fuck it, I'll show them anyway. Oh boy, I think it's in here. Oliver and Teus. I like to make little nods to my children often, and this was one of my first that I did in miniature form. Speaking of devil worship, I watched True Detective season 1, and that shit rolled. Oh, he's definitely Possum. I am so excited that you just watched that. That's absolutely the in my little studio area. I have what kind of looks like a shit. I'm trying to think of. Fuck. What is it? A mandrake. It looks kind of like a mandrake, like a root vegetable baby thing. But it's hanging up and it's tied with a bunch of twine, and it's supposed to look really occult. It's very, very, very influenced by season 1 True Detective. I will save you the heartbreak. Skip 2, watch 3, don't watch 4. Or let me rephrase that. You can watch all of them, and you will get. There are good. So, I loved True Detective season 1. It was fucking awesome. Didn't like the ending, but before I get into that, I will show these two. So this is Teus and Oliver. Part of what I was, one of my realizations, I have so many models that I have unfinished, or I've got in half-finished states that I have abandoned, and I'm not going to get to. These are 2 such models, technically 3. This was also a model in here in this little cage, little box. So, Outguard. Outguard was supposed to be an imperial world that is now at a feudalistic level. They have been cut off from the Imperium for so long that they now are so lost in just like almost like Dark Ages. I started 2 and it's been pretty whatever so far, but I will persist. It has my favorite, easy favorite Colin Farrell line ever. I love Colin Farrell. He is one of my favorite actors. So that I will say, season 2 did get a little extra. I love Colin Farrell, but not as much as I love Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey. But Colin Farrell's great. There's a really, 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 really good part with Colin Farrell in it that's almost worth watching it for alone. But it never goes. It never goes into what True Detective season 1 does. 3 does. 3 does manage to get back in that vibe a little bit. It stays so much more in the vein of almost like I'm going to shrink this down so you can see my face while I talk, I guess. Season 2 of True Detective, it's much more... The way I look at them, and they had such an impact. And here you go. Sam, you didn't know this, but True Detective had so much of an impact on like a lot of storytelling for me for like Dark Heresy. doing inquisitional stuff, because it does have a lot of noir police procedural kind of like crime stuff in it. Um, and season two, I thought it reminded me very, very much of. We never got to do this campaign, but I was going to have essentially my players. They were going to be on a quote unquote cruise, essentially like a pleasure ship. Like it's a it just takes the 0.000000000001% of like a hive world, and like they're just gods and they live on this yacht doing whatever they want. Um, Invitation only. Essentially, the players were going to be thrown into there, and it was the reason this ties into season two is because the tone of it is utterly different, and I mean that from like a visual standpoint. Season one of True Detective, you are in the bayou. You don't feel like you're not safe. You're not safe the whole time, and that is what I loved about that vibe. Is it really captured a part of America that really is frightening. As someone that lives, in areas like that kind of a place, like it's there, 20 minutes I could find a place like easy. Not even 20 minutes. 15. I can get to a place like the fucking end of that movie, like that season one, the fucking awful aqueducts and shit. I could go and do that. I know a couple places like that. Um, all over Kentucky. They're all over just, rural America. And that, as someone that is very aware and has always been afraid of that kind of horror, that really stuck with me. What I appreciated about season two was it's the opposite. It's not in, it is where most people, I think, feel safer slightly, and that is in daylight, in cities, around more people. It's not as secluded. It shows, and I appreciate where they're coming from of showing different sides of horror, but I don't think that it was executed even remotely to the caliber that the first one was. And that's it. 3, they get more fucked up and it gets closer. 4, I wanted to love 4. I can't stress that enough. It's like, okay, very Thing influenced, very Dead Space-esque with, Ice Planet, because it takes place in, I don't know, 4 let me down harder than I think I could have been, because like by the time it ended, I was like, I don't think that anything was like actually like, any questions I had just were like, fuck it, move on. And that's fine, but that's not what I like. I kind of like there to be a plot that's like really thought through, and like you've done some thinking, and like it was very clear. And not only that, I can't stress enough, True Detective season 1 alone, for making the Yellow King, like Carcosa, for getting one of my absolute favorite works of literature into mainstream media. They have, honestly, I should send him a gift. He needs to get a gift too. Tim, Johan. No, I won't. Nah, he's not a Tim and Johan level. People should know about the Yellow King, but he did not do anything to change my life. So that's it. Anywho, I'll show these boys now. So, Outguard. Outguard. It was supposed to be a world that the Imperium has abandoned, and they have fallen into like a feudal society. These were going to be the Birdmen. There are 3 of them. I just broke that one. But to give you an example, I didn't. It's pinned because I'm a psycho. So we'll just, that's the thing. If you pin everything, you can just glue it right back whenever it breaks. I can't stress enough, I'm not entirely still on that vibe, because even I was a little annoyed when I started to cut into one of these models, and I was like, what the? Oh, there's just a giant piece of metal in here. Why did I do that? So, the Birdman. His head used to be a very beaked helmet with lots of little teeth underneath, but I removed that, and he was holding this club. Oh shit, I need to, dude, I gotta get my hands ready. I'm sorry, guys. So here, this is where my hands go. This is a club. This is a tree branch that is essentially, it's got a bunch of lasgun packs stuffed into it. Um, and then here was his other arm. So initially he had that kind of slung over his shoulder, and then this arm was straight down. His leg was kind of raised up, standing on kind of like a on a rock. He was in the big rock, just kind of like, hey there, kind of pose. But that's Teus. Teus is the muscle of the Birdmen trio. I don't remember what Margot's name was, but she essentially was in this box, and she was a witch. So essentially, they were a trio, and then this is Oliver. I don't remember what Margot's name was though, but I like threes, and I like to try and make little characters based on the little kittens that I have run around my house. Birdmen. Why are they birdmen? They are birdmen because I really wanted to play with the idea of if you are so far down the spiral of disconnect from the Imperium of Man, if you stumble upon something like an Aquila and like a bunch of ruins, what do you think they'd think? Like, and my way of that was it's just a very grand misinterpretation of the imperial truth, and just even the Aquila itself, and it's them worshiping a two-headed bird, and covering themselves in feathers, and in the case of Oliver, taping a severed head to your head, because the Aquila is two-headed, with eyes only open to the front and eyes blinded to the past. So of course a severed head looking the other way. That was me essentially wanting to try and play with how their ideology would have been influenced, and where their belief system would come from based on misinterpreting a big double-headed bird. If they were the only ones that found in a wreck or something. Outguard was essentially just a giant wasteland planet. So there was lots of that kind of stuff around. But whenever I was working on them, and you might have been able to tell, good old Kentucky heat, the primer fucked up so hard that it just absolutely ruined so much detail on his face, and it blurred. It really it just caked up so much. And I remember messaging Alexander and just being like, hey man, Lund. I think it was Alexander Winberg and Alexander Lund. I think the two of them. So maybe not Tommy. I feel like Tommy did. I feel like Tommy Big Boss Red Skulls was part of that too, though. I don't remember. Anywho, so since then, here we are. I have taken Teus and I have cut him up a little bit more, and I have added all the gray is essentially new. I did this model before I started messing with epoxy sculpt, so I was just using straight green Neatite. I was but a fool, a foolish lad. But yeah, so what is Teus made of? I sculpted the upper legs. They're just green stuff. These bottom legs are from, I believe, the Nurgle Lord of Plagues. It is the legs from the guy that's kind of standing holding an axe that's over his stomach. A lot of people like the Nurgle Lord or Plague Lord remixes. That was a big thing. I know. Thistle had a couple on the ammo bunker. I remember Brigar was mine, but so Brigar was mine only because that is where the majority of those bits went. But after talking to Peter, I was like, oh, hey, Peter, does this one count? And he was like, no, sorry. And I was like, yeah, I didn't think so. I cut the model up too much. If the model no longer even remotely resembles what it started as, it doesn't count as a remix. Fair. So, yeah. The box was made out of, if I had to guess, those look like I took pieces of plastic that were wood. Yep, and there's green stuff down there. So I probably made a small box, glued together these plastic wooden pieces that I had to create a little box, and then I know that the binding is actually styrene from yard sale signs, because that is the only styrene that I bought for a very long time. Because it's cheap, you get a shit ton of it, and it's a thickness that is very easy to work with. I put my calipers up. Holy shit! Do I keep pulling this out of the frame? Probably. Anyway, so the arms are from Orcs. Those might be the oldest plastic. No, they're not. Not even remotely. That's the oldest plastic. That's like 1960, I think. Something. I've got some from the 60s over there. But this is the oldest Warhammer plastic I have for sure. This is from my buddy Alan's Orcs when we started playing in like literally 24 years ago. Most of the stuff from that time period I sold because it was mine, but I had his bits. I still had his bits that he gave me. So, anywho, the hands, shit. I think the hands are from the Blood, the War Chosen maybe, from Age of Sigmar. But I really liked how everything fit together. I thought, you know, initially Orcs would be way too big. Oh, and the body is from Gore Chosen as well, I believe. Where are we at now? Well, I gotta show you the helmet that I came up with. So I was looking at two different options for helmets on this guy. And initially I was looking at this one, which I really like. I thought, man, that could look pretty cool, but I think that it's too small for his head, actually. He is too big physically for me to believe that his head would fit in there comfortably. So I think this head is going to go... Sam said that he did. I still have his bits that he gave me. Yeah, I still have his bits that he gave me. That does sound like it could be not good. Which I know Sam was very pleased with the actual sculpt of the scavenger, but I'm going to make one as well. You can choose which one you want to use, but this is the head that it's going to have. I think it's a lot radder. It's got lots of little cables. And then that led me to try and figure out what the hell I'm going to do with this guy. And I'm thinking we're going to go with something along these lines. This is a helmet from... I have absolutely no idea. And now I get to crouch down. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I'm thinking about right there, but with some fabric in the back. So it is going to look like essentially almost like a diver's helmet. And I'm very, very happy with that. I absolutely love the Scavenger. The huge dome helmet is so good. Yeah, I love a big dome helmet. Big old domes. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm going to be finishing these today. Where are we? What time is it? I've been going, I did not even realize that I've been talking for over an hour, much less an hour and like 13. Also, I barely drank any of my coffee. Oh, that looks good too, but I love a weird, rattlier Scavenger. Oh, yeah. 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 Oh, he'll be weird. The one that I'm making is going to be real weird. He'll be good, I promise. This helmet, I wonder what this went to. Almost looks like a Lego Man helmet. I think I know. It goes to one of those cars. So it's probably like a 135 or a 172. No, that's definitely not a 172. That's a 135 helmet, I'm assuming. But yeah, I like that. It's going to look good. Just out of frame. Oh, no! I got it. Okay. Man, I'm going to be taping this shit off for sure. Like, that way I don't keep doing these kinds of things. You make weird? No, that doesn't make any sense. I do a little bit of weirdo stuff every now and then. I don't know. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about this guy's little helmet. And I guess we could go ahead and do some sculpting now, because that's what I'm going to do today. I think think that's probably good. Yeah. I am thinking, and yeah, man, that was a very, 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 very long yap session. Thank you guys for listening. And now we'll get to the main event. Bum, bum, bum. Only an hour and a half in almost. I can't help it. I'm a yapper. With a little Dremel action. Nothing like a little drill ASMR in the morning. Boo doo boo. Yapper, you're a wonderful rapper, yapper. Maybe rapper too. I mean, I'm not gonna do that this morning. I'm not gonna do any rapping this morning. Did I tell you that I was working on rap for King Piss? I don't think I did, but yeah. But you seem tempted. I am tempted. I did write lyrics to all of This Is a Respectable Business. And at some point in time, I am going to record that. I do want to make a full album, an entire King Piss album, like a legitimate album. Boo, unsubscribe. Not in a way that I took seriously. I gotta hear it. Is that an unsubscribe? You don't want to hear rapping, or you only want rapping, Possum? Both. No rap, but also only rap. Where did my pliers go? They're right here. Boop. You gotta drop the sick bars, man. Now I'm feeling embarrassed. I don't think I'm ready for that this morning, guys. But I'm very easily convinced. That looks good. That was just like I'm winging it. And that seems like exactly the height that I was trying to get. He's gonna have some cloth kind of going over that. Only rap would be a hell of a hobby channel gimmick. I mean, it absolutely is. I can't stress enough. I mean, nah, let me open up. Let me open up. This is a respectable business by King Piss. It does have Chicago style in the opening verse. Let's see. This is a respectable business. King Piss. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like rapping on stream. I have not even. Well, I might be able to. Yeah, okay. I'll do it. All right. Not the whole thing, though. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but. So, yeah, respectable business. Felt like life was pulling the heavy blows, but I swear deep down I could feel them. Got just a little too used to the good life. Chicago style like an arrow from the gods. Caught me slipping, grit my teeth, didn't even fucking feel it. Never won to min-max, man, willpower got you dripping, baby. I was always 10 toes to my soul, now I'm just bleeding, bust a pose. Get it, girl, make me need it. You know I like the ears, but I'll call her that leash. You know I need a good girl, I need it to need me. For that look over that shoulder, I'm addicted. Raise that ass in my altar good kid. Now so pretty for me. Oh, y'all thought I'd half-ass this shit, huh? Okay. I said, goddamn, baby girl, got me shaking, baby. That ass, oh Lord Almighty. I said, goddamn, baby girl, got me shaking to my core. That ass got me broken, baby. I said, goddamn, baby girl, got me shaking like a fiend. Lord, I'm addicted, baby. Oh, man. I haven't done this in a hot minute. Okay. Oh, yeah. Black and gold also. Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, that's the fucking best line, so. Okay. Black and gold always on me like I'm long war. Saku John Tiger jacket, no my drip hard. Only Gucci on this face cause I work for him. Turning enough idols into friends off of fucking laurels. Pog Batty when she writes, she taking me to church. They say be using up my porch, you know I'm built for it. Spend my whole life shackling up my demon bed, burning. Now a cat daddy kitten, no to plead for it. Shit. Shit, I fucked that up. I haven't rapped in so long. I can stop. I don't wanna keep doing this if you guys are not interested. I love rap though. And rap was a very, very big part of me feeling like more akin with my cousin after he passed away. I started to listen to a lot more rap. Yeah, black and gold always on me, life and long war, Saku John Tiger jacket, baby, know my drip hard, only Gucci on this face cause I worked for him. Turned enough idols into friends to get off those fucking laurels. Pog Batty when she rides, she taking me to church. They say BDs and out my porch, you know I'm built for it. Spend my whole life shackling up my demon's bed, burden. Tom cat, daddy kittens know the police before it. Tell him mark it on my arm if it mark me on my heart. White trash, charming, fucked up artsy, curly headed fuck, modern day self-made, 6 figures, no diploma, kittens, basics of flex so hard you think I'm telling jokes. I'm listening but also having to take work chat. Love it. Well, that's me rapping. So I'm really sorry if everybody hated that, but I'm not sorry if you liked it. Yeah. Eventually I will have that done. I have got a lot of King Piss lyrics done. I have a song that I wrote. It's a guitar. And it's called Aggro Crag, or Booty Like the Aggro Crag. 10 out of 10. Well, thank you, Possum. Thank you, my sweets. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you all could even hear it with the words or with the music. So, but yeah, I'm a little shaky now. I'm embarrassed. But I like the attention. I'm just kidding. So, yeah. I started writing a whole lot of fucking rap last year. Mike O'Malley. I'm like, damn girl, you got a booty like the aggro crag, and I want to get a piece of that righteous rock. Take it on back home with me. Girl got me feeling like I'm Mike O'Malley. You shouldn't be embarrassed. That was great. You're awesome. Well, thank you. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that was so Chicago style. It is. That's a reference to Adepticon last year. It was in Chicago, and that was just something that Johnny and the Wires and I said all the time. And it was essentially only when something really shitty happened. Like, it's essentially like if you're like, oh, hey, how'd you want that? Oh, I want it Chicago style. And like they give it to you, and then someone like punches you in the stomach. Like it's oh, Chicago style. Just essentially it just very, very quickly, anytime something bad happened while we were there, we were like, Chicago style. So that's where the line felt like life was pulling the heavy blows, but I swear deep down I could feel them. Got just a little too used to the good life. Chicago style, like an arrow from the gods, caught me slipping. Yeah. I always have enjoyed writing lyrics. And rap absolutely was one that I've never fucked with. But after listening to a lot of quote unquote sad boy rap, which pretty much Juice, Mac, if you were rapping about a lot of personal shit and how you're trying to deal with things and you're afraid that it's killing you and then you died, that's the kind of music that I was listening to for a hot minute. And it did make me feel a little bit like I was able to relate, to my cousin, just because I know he had a lot of shit going on too. So, and rap, especially with Juice and I mean Mac, anyone that is like putting themselves utterly out there, there's a big difference between putting yourself out there and like pandering. I don't fucking pander ever. That's just that. And if I think that I am, if at the moment I figure out that, oh fuck, I think I'm pandering, I stop whatever I'm doing. I just don't want anything that I make to be valued in any way other than at face. And by at face, I mean for what it is, not for who I am or what it's. I don't want any affiliation to sway someone's thought process when they see my work, whether it's audio, visual, or, story. I like to be very in control of what I make. So, but lyrically, I mean, Fur and Teeth, every band I've ever been in was just nothing but metaphors on top of metaphors on top of metaphors, which is honestly, I mean, that's the same thing with my little sculptures and whatnot. Man, I'm fucking loving that helmet. That is so rad. That is absolutely the choice. Fuck yeah, that's gonna look so sick. I'm gluing it. I'm gluing it. We're making a call, BBs. But yeah, that was the first time I have done that, and now it's on the internet for forever. So maybe I will start doing that more. Yeah, that's it. That's the angle. Right there. I really like the last line of "This is a respectable business," which that's the other thing. The whole where that EP, I only made one song, and I mean it's on the things that songs are on under the title King Piss, but that was my first project that I started working on after I started making music again, for myself anyway. And then eventually I thought, man, I should rap to that. I'm dealing with a Chicago style customer right now. Yeah, your confidence was high, so it sounded great, but you amp that confidence up and it'll be even better. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and that absolutely is. I cannot stress so much of rap, the concept of flexing. I love all of that shit, and I love the difference. And when I say that, I love the key part of explaining how I love that is Machine Gun Kelly. I like that he fucked up so hard that he made a rap god dunk on him, and then he just doesn't rap anymore. He just left, and I like that. I think that's very funny. I just, oh boy. I enjoy when you can tell who is a good person and who is kind of pandering or doing things for the reasons that I never do things. Man, I love that helmet, but I still gotta figure out. It's a wonderful story. What happened between him and Marshall? Well, I know Machine Gun Kelly put out, he said some diss shit about Eminem, and that's when Eminem put out Rap God. I don't remember what MGK said, but I remember I started to watch part of the video, like the music video that he made that was a diss. Which, goddamn, kids, stay in your fucking lane. I can't stress that enough. I have never thought in my life, like, man, I kind of want to go. I'm going to drive to my buddy Dave's house, and I'm going to just be like, hey, Dave, I know you built micro machines, but look what I can fucking do. Like, why would you choose to do that. I just have never understood the kind of, I think it's just egotism, and I think it is, and that's why absolutely I try to ground myself as much as fucking possible. But I mean, I don't feel like I have anything to worry about that because I don't know. I every now and then I will say things that sound maybe like a flex, or I can't stress enough. I like to say a flex. They're just things. They're just like, hey, here's the thing, and it's just like I can't screw up. Trying to think of the best way to explain what I'm saying. Sometimes I like to do things that are a joke, but yeah, I'll say things like, "Oh yeah, let me do a little flex," or "Oh, this, that." It's just, dude, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I guess it's that. It's more of a joke. It's a joke. I'm never serious when I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go flex on people." Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody else. Like that. That's the whole thing. Like that's my whole thing is like everybody's is we're all equals. But I love, and that's so I love. I have a patch that I need to put on my back on my vest, but it's an anglerfish and it's fucking wonderful and it's nightmarish. I've always loved them, but I absolutely relate to them because I do look like I would be a pretty easy person to bully at this point in time, and I am a goddamn savage. I'm not someone that I would want to make angry. You should from here on out. If you like what you did, flex. You're just flexing for yourself, and people raised without self-love need as much as we can get. I guess that is true. I mean, I don't know. I guess no, I don't want to flex. I guess it's that. It's the I don't flex unless someone does something to try and put someone else down, and then it's just like, okay, who the fuck are even you? Just to put it in perspective, stay humble. That's when I flex. That's the only time. If I've ever flexed on you when we've met, you probably said something shitty. Yeah, that's to anybody. Understood. No, and I'm sure not you. I'm saying like, I don't know who would watch this. That I don't feel like I flexed on anybody. Actually, well, maybe I have. I remember someone said something about one of my jackets, and I was like, oh yeah, it's my fucking favorite guitarist. He's one of the best on the planet. This used to be his for Tim's. When you wear things that are kind of flashy, especially working from home is nice. Hell yeah, man. I like working from home. I like not having to go out and see people, but to really dial in the danger of that, it makes me an agoraphobe. So when I do have to go out in public, I'm like, I haven't seen you do it, but I look forward to it. A flex. Oh, I don't know. No, I think typically the biggest one. I go big or go home. I think the only time I've ever done it is somebody. I think I have encountered somebody that locally said something, and I said I'm friends with the inventor of micro machines. Who the fuck are even you? And then I haven't seen him since. Don't be an asshole to people, and I won't be an asshole to you. Because I come hard. I should not have said that. I go hard. Yeah, we've gone places. You do what? I'm so sorry. I was telling Kelly, I was like, I knew that horny jail was going to have to be something I would implement. But yeah, it's just like, you go to horny jail, bonk. I have to go now. I'm not. No, I am so sorry, everyone. I'd say that I'm still waking up, but I mean, I kind of am. I've been okay now. It actually has been an hour and 33 minutes, so I guess I should start sculpting. I'm sorry. I've just been yapping and rapping and napping. I haven't taken any naps. I actually have a really hard time taking naps. Possum, that's just blank, but I do like it. And it just. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, factually, no. My body is like, don't even talk about that stuff right now, dude. Uh, Positive note. Oh, I will talk about this. Um, I think I can say this. Yeah, no, I asked. So, one, one of the first things I asked when I got in to have my vasectomy done, she said, "Do you have any questions?" And I said, "Yeah." And then I said, "I don't know if this is appropriate." And then I was just instantly thinking, man, I wish I could jump in her brain for a second to think, just to know what she thinks I'm about to ask. But I was like, yeah, this may not be appropriate. And I was like, but what's the dumbest question you've ever been asked at this point? Um, Marco, what? And she said, well, no questions are dumb questions because if you don't know the answer, you don't know. And I agree with that entirely. I said dumb because I was going to say, what's the wildest question? But I didn't know how that would go. So I corrected myself before I said it. But there's a lot, and there's a lot that I foresaw coming. But I think my favorite and I couldn't, this one baffled me. It baffled me, and I was like, I love that. Thank you. Thank you for adding that to my repertoire of like puzzles to think about. But she said that at one point in time, someone came in, and this is, again, I am like, it's getting ready to go down, baby. Like, we're here. Like, we've already had the consultation. She was like, yeah, at this point, someone did come in and they said, so it's just like, how they do it on the farm. And oh no, I just put that in my hair. No. So I really like the fact that this person went in, did not listen to anything that they said about the initial consultation, walked away thinking I am going to be castrated like an animal on a farm, and then came back like they showed up to the appointment to have it done. And that's a level of just like, how wild is your life that like you just couldn't care about that to like listen to it and retain like and think like what's about to happen. I really liked that, but that's the wildest. It's really good. I don't know. And everybody's different. I realize that. I'm sure. I mean, I also found it very funny that on the very cover of like, or not the cover, but in the what will this do, what will it won't do, I loved that the very last one was it will not fix a ruined relationship or a broke or failing relationship. And I was just like, it's wild that they have to put that. I'm surprised they still showed up to the point. That's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. Like, I couldn't. I like when she like I was speechless. Like I did not. I just couldn't even think. I was just like, because, and also it's like, given the context, like it was just like not feeling great about that, but it's just like, you, honey, okay, you can sit up here for just a little bit, but we're sculpting right now. This one, no, she's not even gonna do it. Has been wanting to sit in my lap, but that's not an option. Thursday, 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 Thursday. I know. You have chow and you have water. We're not going out right now. We are still streaming. But yeah, I'm surprised they still showed up to the appointment too. I don't even, I just don't know. I just don't know. That's just wild. It's just wild. I like it. Just rolling those dice. Just going with the flow, I guess. So yeah, this helmet, I'm feeling really good about this helmet. Sorry if anyone was not wanting to hear fun facts about vasectomies. I mean, I rapped for you guys. I feel like at this point, I don't know. What more do you want from me? Hey, I know what you might want from me. Are my hands where they're supposed to be? Or am I fucking this up? Can you see what I'm doing here? Yeah. Okay. No. You rapped. I did. I did. They convinced me to. And I missed. You missed it. You did. Can you do it again? I suppose. Unless the rest, I don't know. I don't. Everyone else, would you like me to do that again so Atri can hear it? And I will try to be more confident in this time. I don't want this to be, hey, let's just watch Eli rap. I mean, fuck, at this point in time, though, I mean, if that's what you guys want. Can you do it again? I suppose. Yeah. It's... Is that bad stream? I don't know. I don't know what is good stream or what is not, but I'll do it. Okay. If that's fine by anyone else's. I just don't want everybody to be bored. I know I yap and yap and yap and yap, so... And now you're wanting me to rap. I'm just vibing, dog. Raws, okay. Well, if you guys are cool with it, I will do it one more time for Atri. And I will try to keep working on this. So this is whatever you're comfy with, homie. Okay, I'll try it one more time. I'm also going to take a big swig of water. I'm going to pause this real quick. No! Eli, no! You missed the beat! Take the water. I haven't had any water. Yeah, worst case scenario. I mean, yeah. Why would I be embarrassed? Okay. I'm going to start it up real quick, and then I'll do it. Okay. So, I was about to say Lonesome Crowded West. I don't know why the fuck I said that. This is a Respectable Business by King Piss. Available on iTunes and Spotify. Felt like life was pulling the heavy blows, but I swear deep down I could feel them. Got just a little too used to the good life, Chicago style, like an arrow from the gods. Called me slip and grip, my teeth didn't even fucking feel it. Never one to min-max, my willpower got you dripping, baby. I was always 10 toes to my soul, now I'm just bleeding, bust a pose. Get it, girl, make me need it. You know I like the ears belt, collar, that leash. You know I need a good girl, I need her to need me. For that look over that shoulder, I'm addicted. Raise that ass at my altar, good kitten. Oh, y'all thought I'd half-ass this, huh? Okay. Well, how about some of this then? I said, goddamn, baby girl, got me shaking, baby. That ass, oh Lord Almighty. I said, goddamn, baby girl, got me shaking to my core. That ass got me broken, baby. I said, goddamn, baby girl, got me shaking like a fiend. That ass, he addicted, baby. I said, goddamn, baby girl, goddamn. Oh. Black and gold always on me, life and long war. Saku John, Tiger jacket, know my drip hard. Only Gucci on his face, cause I work for him. Turned enough idols into friends, got those fucking laurels. Pog baddie when she rocks, she taking me to church. They say be easy up my porch, you know I'm built for it. Spend my whole life shackled up, my demon beds burning. Tomcat, daddy kittens, add the please before it. Tell a market on my arm like a market on my heart. White trash, charming, artsy, color, frickin' headed fucked it up. Almost got all the way through. Fuck. I'm gonna start right there again. Black and gold, always on me, life and long war. Saku John, tiger jacket, no my drip hard. Only Gucci on his face, cause I work for him. Turning up idols into friends, got those fucking laurels. Pog baddie when she rides, she taking me to church. They be easy, not my portion, know I'm built for it. Been my whole life, shackled up my demon's beds. Burning Tomcat, daddy kittens, had the police before it. Tell him mark it on my arm like it marked me on my art. White trash, charming, fucked up, artsy, curly headed fuck. Modern day, self-made, 6 figures, no diploma, kitten. Basic, so flex, hard thing, tell jokes. Yeah, there we go. Yay. That's it. Yeah. My kitten, my basics will flex so fucking hard. Y'all gods still think I'm telling jokes. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. But that's the first rap that I wrote for King Piss. This is a respectable business. I wrote it after getting back from Adepticon last year. Fire. Thanks. I can rap. I also can beatbox. I learned how to beatbox when I was in high school. I guess when I also learned how to rap. In my art class, I sat with these two guys and they taught me how to beatbox and how to rap. And I would just hang out with them. There's Anthony and Corey. There's 0% that they are watching this. So I would give them a shout out, but they won't know that I'm doing it. Well, I rapped a lot today. A lot more than I ever have on a stream or in the past couple months. So hopefully you all like that. I really got into rap after my cousins passed, and I started to look at rap in a different way because all the other music that I have made, I always have been very... Self-preservation has always been one of my biggest skills. I've really... I'm like, hey, you know, don't want to put too much of yourself out there, but I've realized that over time, the more I put myself out there, the more I feel okay about who I am, and the more people like have thanked me for like, hey, thanks for putting yourself out there because it makes me feel better about who I am. And after having enough of those kinds of conversations, most of which involved me crying, because I don't handle that well at all. Like I'm definitely, yeah, Sam and Kelly did this to me like last weekend, where it's just like, I don't, too much praise is too much. Sometimes it's overwhelming, just because, you know, when you have a negative self-image for so long, it takes a long time to fucking build that up. And the only reason, can't stress enough, that I am like, hey, I think I'm good, is that at this point in time, I've had enough people that are important in my life whose work I just love so much, and has made such an impact on me, say wonderful things to me, that I don't feel like I like to turn the people whose work I love into friends, and I want to be valued on my own work outside of how much I love someone else's work, which is why, you know, I like the idea of making Tim, who makes music, something that he cannot make himself, or that he does not make himself, at least that I know of. Same thing with Nick. Like Nick taught me how to sculpt, so like making music for Modern Synthesis is just like, that's wonderful. I would love to make something for someone that, you know, impacted my life so much, because sculpting really I did not start doing that like truly with like an intention to make my own art with that. I was always very hung up. The fear keeps you there. That's it. And rap is very interesting because it's like a combination, most rap, and I say rap like good rap in my opinion, it's almost like confessional, and there is something about that I really relate. I think I had that conversation with Greg whenever I was first starting to make music again. I told him that I was considering starting to make some rap, and he said that you have the personality for it, because I am pretty energetic, and pretty bubbly, I suppose. But I also can go hard. I said it right that time. You do what? Kohl's, Staples, Dick's. Kohl's does what? I think that every time I see those signs. For those of you not US listeners, those are 3 different company like franchises names that I just mentioned. If you don't have Kohl's, Staples, or Dick's, Kohl's is like a clothing, like a clothing store kind of. I think JCPenney, Sears, that kind of thing. If you don't, I don't know what those are. If you have those either. Staples is like an office supplies, and then Dick's is sporting goods. And I have seen on at least a couple like different. When you're driving past a mall, you'll see the sign of the stores, and it's like Kohl's, Staples, Dick's, and that's a meme. Just like Kohl's does what? Yeah. Man, I really fucking like that helmet. So we got to get rid of this little handle right here. In my mind, it would be, I don't know if that actually related. If that's my mind. I believe the term is department store. Yes. What did I say? Did I say clothing store? Department store? I guess you're right. In my mind, it would. I don't know if that's actually related. I don't know what the Kohl's, Staples, Dick's. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. So here we go. I'm cutting the handle. You're reading my follow-up message before the first. I'm sorry. You rapped. I missed it. Can you do it again? I'm sorry. In my mind, it was. I see the fire, and then I say in my mind it would, but I don't know if that's actually related. You rapped, I missed it. Can you do it again? Oh, you might have said something it didn't like, and I didn't get to see it, which is fun. Maybe it didn't send like a mod block or something, maybe, which is fun because, like, man, I gotta say, I did not. I'm gonna DM it to you. Okay. On Discord. Wonderful. Pew, 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 pew. Hey, Discord. Open. I love when Discord just like, hey, you've got a whole bunch of messages, but I've got like 50 updates now. I have to ask questions. No. No. No, it does not. So, well, currently, how detailed do I want to go into this? No, not at all. Answer is no. Yeah, like it does not stop any functions. And that's pretty much like it's sent in live chat, but not top chat. My only thought is BC spam timer. Maybe. Huh. I've got it in top. I am so sorry. Why is it in top chat? I thought this was live. I'm so sorry, guys. That would make sense. Okay. There are multiple chats. Yeah, like so there's pop out chat. Like I can pop out chat and it comes over here, and then you can have it selected by live chat and then by top chat. And I had live chat, but it's not there either. So I don't know. Maybe it was spammed, but why would you choose top chat? I guess if you have a whole bunch of people and everybody's talking at once, but that doesn't even, I don't know. No, the surgery does not affect libido or any functions down there. Everything is very, 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 very sensitive right now. So it's just like, that's the name of the game is don't think about that stuff. because it's just like not an option. That is the got it. Man, I love that helmet. I mean, it's not the way you wear a helmet, but it's gonna look so cool. I just gotta figure out, do I want to have a visor, like a little slit, or dots? Man, I don't know which one. Or maybe like even like a little porthole almost, like a little, yeah, a porthole could be cool. Oh no, a porthole would be rad as hell. Like just kind of circle around like that. So that's just like a big dome visor. That's gonna be so fucking sick. Okay, yeah, and then I could put. There's going to be like definitely some hoses coming out and running to connect to this, because there's going to be fuck. Do I have it? Is my hand out of the frame again? What the hell am I doing? Is my yes, it is. Damn it, Eli! Come on, come on, Eli. What are you doing? Here, hands, hands, hands. Yeah. So, boy, come on. What you doing? I gotta get better about. I gotta get the tape. I gotta get the tape. I'm gonna have to bust up tape before. So before I like reset up everything, I had like my old desk. I had the tape and everything where I knew where my hands could be and where I could put them, and it would be in the screen. I need to do that. So I am so sorry. But yeah, what I was saying is I love this helmet, and I am really digging the shape. I'm going to go about like here-ish to give it a very almost like diving kind of shape. I'll put like a little line over there, and then there over there. And then I'm going to run a bunch of cables into the back of here, and then probably have some like kind of fabric kind of covering up this part and this part, so it'll be draped. There'll be cables running in there, running into this box on the back, and then he's going to be pointing like, hey. And then in his other hand, he's going to have a big old bonk stick. Because you got to have your brutes with a bonk stick. Brutes are really, really scary in 1490 Doom. Because they can straight up drop your dude in one turn. Like one go. And that's really scary. Especially if they've got a knight near them, which for godforsaken reason, everyone that I fight always has a knight right next to it. Probably because I like to, make sure that everyone knows. If you keep them next to each other, they get really, really scary. But yeah, no. So, hot damn. I did not have the intention to stream for 2 hours, but I've had a great time this morning. I probably will stop at 2 because it's like 10 o'clock. How did it already get 10 o'clock? I rapped a couple times, and I talked about a vasectomy, and I showed all the things that I got done over like the past weekend. But yeah, I'm really loving that helmet though. For some reason, everyone I play does the thing. Probably doesn't have to do with me telling them to do so. For some reason, probably doesn't. Everyone that you play, sorry, for some reason, everyone I play does this thing. What did I say? What is that in response to? Games. Making a joke about what we said about the brute plus knight. For some reason, everyone I play does this thing. Probably doesn't have to do with me telling them to do so. Oh, gotcha. Now I get it. Gotcha. Oh, you play 1490 Doom too? I can't stress it's nasty. They're brutal. Sam does not. Sam's. Oh, got you. Making a joke about what you said about brute and knight. That was from your perspective. Oh. I got it. I'm so sorry. For some reason, everyone I play does this thing. Probably doesn't have to do with me telling you to do so. Joke failed. Now I get it. I'm dense. Yes, it was. Everyone does this thing. Doesn't have to do with me telling, hey, if you do this thing, it's really scary. Yeah. It's the masochist in me. I want to fight that knight. But only after. Although I do that all the time. Talk from the person I'm. Yeah. That's it. It's good. It's good. Oh boy. Yeah, I think guys, I'm a little slap happy. I'm a little yap happy. I think that's what it was. Is I meant to say that I just yapped through my entire operation procedure, and of course at the end I was like, "Oh my gosh!" She was like, "Okay, you're done." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just talked the whole time." And she was like, "No, I learned so much. I'm really stoked to go look into a bunch of stuff that you told me about." So, yeah, uh, great experience. 10 out of 10. Would do again. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for 2 hours. It's fucking rad as hell. I feel like I got a lot covered as far as talked about. I didn't do too much modeling, but I'm going to get to that. I need to get better about doing that. Tomorrow I will be better. So I really think that I want to start doing 8 a.m. Morning hobby hangs, just because I'm more awake. Whereas I feel like if I try to do a 6:40, I think it's too early. And like I wake up, so my first alarm goes off at 6. I don't get out of bed at 6. The second one goes off at 6:20, and I'm like, okay. And I get up and I try to do all the stuff, and then I run downstairs. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, I'm sorry, I'm running late. And then everyone's like, we hate you. And I'm just like, no one does that. Everyone's so sweet all the time. But I am always worried about letting people down. So 8 o'clock I think is just a good time for me to be awake and be enough to actually like entertain and kind of show what I'm doing. This morning I did not get as much physically done. Yeah, 6:40 is wild. It is. So the reason that it was 6:40 is like, when I had my day job, I would go in at 8. So I had to get in as much time as I could. And that's like, I'm already awake. Instead of playing video games, I wanted to be like productive with my time. And I initially started doing sculpting like years ago. That was my sculpting time. And then it just went to, well, I'm going to work on a goal. And then it was, I'm going to try and. Grieveland just finished, everybody. We waited long enough. Let's take a peek. That's a surprise. Oh my goodness. Oh, Grieveland. Oh boy, I stood up a little too fast there. And to further detail the answer to that question, Atri, as far as everything being functional and as it was before, like a week, they're like, yeah, don't do anything for a week. Like nothing. And I cannot stress enough even the idea of that, like the past like 3 days, it's just been like not even remotely on the spectrum. It's just like, dude, I'm just like aching. But it's actually not bad at all. I'm saying that as like just being a big baby, like me being a big baby. Oh no, Grapeland, come on, give it up. I was about to quote the most problematic quote from Adventure Time, which would be, don't flaunt it if you're not going to give it up. It's what Finn says to a giant slime cube. And it's just like, oh, I don't like that. That's not a good quote. Oh my goodness. All right. This is... I think low corner 2. Yay! I can't see. I'm so sorry, guys. New time means I can actually be here from the jump instead of catching the last 30. Good Greeblin. Go Greeblin. Such a good Greeblin. Oh, hey. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I mean, all kinds of things. I'm a monster. Let me switch cameras. So, here it is. Yeah. Yeah. Scale, perspective. Here's the other guy that I printed out. They're big, really big. And they look really detailed and just thick. God, it's very clear. My whole love of all this guy's work is it's just like, hey, that guy's an architectural student. That is the number one thing that I thought when I saw his STLs the first time. I said, holy fuck, that is the most realistic cathedral I've ever seen. And it's, oh yeah, because he is an architectural student, or all of this is from his architecture studies, which are his main passion, and then the second one is tabletop gaming. So it's just like, well, God bless you, God bless your heart. Uh, Bartol's, yeah, Bartol's is his name, his actual name, but he goes by Hexbricks. Um, I'm so excited to print this cathedral, and I'm really excited because it's. I didn't show this, but the dimensions are so good for 1490. Like, they are just, it looks right because it is big and thick. Buildings, and then the height, because the heights are actually realistic heights, they line up with kind of the whole climbing mechanics from 1490 Doom. Like, oh, you can only climb like 3 inches without needing a ladder or something. And then he designed ladders and scaffolding, all kinds of stuff to go with it that just really, really sell it to the level that it's just nuts. So I'm really, really, really excited. Now I got to figure out get the next part going. But yeah, Greeblin has been doing the Lord's work. I think I'm going to stop here. I probably need to eat something. I've just been doing this all morning, but I've had a great time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. If you didn't want to hear me rap, I'm so sorry. But if you liked it, I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing either. If you don't want to hear me rap, then you don't listen. But yeah, thanks for listening. And also thanks for building my confidence up a little bit in that, because I have been anxious, and that's something that I do want to do. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Oh, thank you, Possum. Great to see you this morning. See you tomorrow. Love the rap. No apologies. Wonderful. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. Sam, Roz, Atri, Possum, everyone else. Thank you so much for hanging out. I will be back tomorrow at the new time. This is going to be the new schedule. Just I don't have to stop and make coffee and then come back down. It's just Monday through Friday. I think I'm gonna I'll be here, and I don't know. I'm thinking an hour and a half to 2, but two was great. This didn't seem like too much, and I think tomorrow, if I got all the show and tell kind of out of the way. I think we can dive right into just making things. And then of course we've got the Dying World Thursdays. Yes, Dying World Thursday. It's this Thursday. Yes, we will pick back up with our good friends right before they go into the tunnel of sin. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I got to work on more stuff for that. But we got a lot going on. I'm excited to show you guys. We're getting to the here it comes. So it's good. It's good. Yep. All right. I think I'm gonna close out. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Be kind to yourselves and to each other, and sit pretty. Take care.